Alright, video 4. We are on number 27. A water balloon is launched upward from an initial height of 20 feet with an initial velocity of 45 feet per second. The height of the water balloon can be modeled by this equation, where t is in time in seconds, h is the height above the ground. Find the time it takes the water balloon to hit the ground level, round to the nearest hundredth. So if something is launched into the air, it makes a parabola, a parabolic shape. If you launch it up and then it goes to a maximum point, turns around, comes back down. When it hits, the height of it is 0. So we're going to be plugging in the height as a 0. Now we just got to write out what is its equation by plugging in both of those values, which they gave us in the problem. So h of t is equal to negative 16 t squared plus the VO is 45, so 45t, plus HO is, I think it's pronounced H naught, it's a 0, 20, that doesn't matter. So as I said, we are finding time, solving for t, when the height is 0. So 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 45t plus 20. Alright, so these never factor with these, so we want to use the quadratic formula. And so I'm going to multiply everything by -1, because I don't like when this front guy is negative. So 16t squared minus 45t minus 20. So t is equal to negative b, so that'd be positive 45 plus or minus big square root negative 45 squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. So we're going to have 45 plus or minus some radical over 32. And I'm going to grab my calculator, and we're going to have 45 squared. Oops. Clear, clear, clear. Where's the clear button on this calculator? Oh my gosh, there's no clear button. What the heck? 45 squared is 2025, and then it's minus negative, so it'd be plus parentheses 4 times 16 times 20 parentheses equals 3305, sorry, 3305. And I'm going to take the square root of that number, 45 plus or minus 57.49. Oh, because it told me to round it out to the nearest hundredth, over 32. So that breaks us into the two separate, 45 plus 57.49 over 32, and 45 minus 57.49 over 32. 45 minus 57 gives us a negative number. We can't have negative time, so we ditch that one. And 45 plus 57.49 divided by 32 is 51.25 seconds. And that's our answer. Solve the system. There may be fractions. Okay, so y is equal to this, and y is also equal to that. So I'm going to plug this in for that y. 2x squared minus 8x plus 7 is equal to 3x minus 2. Now I'm going to get everything on one side. So it equals 0. And I'm going to factor this. I'm not going to do a times c and that whole big thing. I'm just going to think about it, unfoil. So the only things that multiply to give us 2x squared is 2x and x. Now for the 9, I could do 9 times 1 or 3 times 3. And so I'm just going to throw numbers in and check to see. Now they have to multiply to positive and add to negative. That means they would have to both be negative. So that is minus 6x, and the inside is minus 3x. That gives us a 9. So that means 3 and 3 didn't work. So let's try 9 and 1. That would be 18x. That would be a minus x. That's not working. So I'm going to try the 1 here and the 9 here. Outside is minus 2x. Inside is minus 9x. That gives us the 11x. So this foils to this guy, so that means I factored it right. So therefore 2x minus 9 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. 2x equals 9. X equals 9 halves. X equals 1. And this problem said solve the system, so we got to fully solve it out. So those are my two x values, and I got to plug each of them in to find the corresponding y value. So if I plug in 9 halves, I would have 3 times 9 halves minus 2. 27 halves minus 2 over 1 would be 4 over 2. 27 minus 4, 23 over 2. So one of the solutions is 9 halves, comma, 23 halves. And then if x is 1, 3 times 1 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1, 1. There's our two solutions. And another system, but this time it just wants us to find the x coordinates. So we go through this process and get our x's, and then we'll be done. It didn't ask for the full out answer. And it also gives us a hint that the answers have radicals in them. And they're in a weird, they're like all jumbled up, not solved for y. So I'm going to solve them for y. So I'm going to keep the 3y on the left. I'm going to add 3x squared over plus 24x and plus the 42. And then I'm going to divide everything by 3 because we got to divide that 3. So that gives us x squared plus 8x. X squared plus 8x plus 14. And solving this one for y, I just need to minus the x over. So now I can set them equal to each other, plug this into that y. So we would have x squared plus 8x plus 14 equals negative x minus 9. Get everything on one side, so I'm going to add the x and plus the 9. X squared plus 9x. I'm looking at my page, so I'm cheating. Plus 23. equals 0. I guess it's not really cheating because I'm the one that did that page. We already know it's not factoring. Nothing times nothing is 23. That adds to 9. So quadratic formula. I could complete the square, but 9 is an odd number, and I don't want to cut it in half and then square it. So I don't want to complete the square. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So that would be negative 9 plus or minus the radical over 2. And under the radical, 81 minus calculator 4 times 23 is 92. 81 minus 92 is negative 11. 11 is prime. I can't simplify that part of the radical, but I could take the negative out. Negative 9 plus or minus I times the square root of 11 over 2. So those are our two x values. Remember, that is 2 answers. Negative 9 plus I root 11 over 2, and negative 9 minus I root 11 over 2. Oh my goodness. How many do we have? This feels like it's going on forever. 42. Alright, multiply. We've got a binomial times a trinomial. Whatever's in front, you have to distribute each of those guys. So let's start with distributing the 2x. We would have 8x to the third minus 6x squared minus 2x. Now distribute the 3 plus 12x squared minus 9x minus 3. Combine like terms. 8x cubed. For our squares, we've got a plus 6x squared. For x's, we have a minus 11x and then minus 3. Trinomial times a trinomial. Whatever's in front, you got to distribute each one of those. So distributing the 2x squared. We get 2x to the fourth plus 10x to the third minus 16x squared. Now distribute the minus 3x. Minus 3x to the third minus 15x plus 24x. Now distribute the 1 plus x squared plus 5x minus 8. Now we've got to look for our like terms. 2x to the fourth. 10 minus 3 is 7. So plus 7x to the third. For our squares, negative 16 plus 1 minus 15. Did I do something wrong? Because my page says something else. Oh, yes. Mistake, mistake, mistake. Let me erase. Nope. Keep that. Negative 3x times 5x is negative 15x squared. So there we go. Negative 16 minus 15 is negative 31. Plus 1 is a negative 30x squared. And then for our x's, 24 plus 5 plus 29x, and then minus 8. Factoring, factoring, factoring. Quadratic trinomial. You can use the whole a times c and then that whole process. I should do one of those as a review. I'll do it on this one. I'm going to just lay it out and try to unfoil it. Because the only things that, there's only one choice for the last positions, 5 and 7. One of them's negative. So the first positions, I could either do x times 6x or 2x times 3x. I'm just going to make a bet it's 2x times 3x. So my 5 and 7, I just pretty much ignore this for right now. What multiplies to give you the first term? What multiplies to give you the last term? It's only 5 and 7. So I'm just going to throw them in and check. Now I know one of them has to be negative. I know that, but let's do the outside and the inside to check. 10x, 21x. So one of them would be negative, so that does not give me a difference of 1. So let's try flipping those around. Put the 5 here and the 7 here. 15x, 14x, we've got it. So the 15x would have to be positive, and the 14x negative. And 5 times negative 7, negative 35. So there we go. We factored it. Difference of squares. We're squaring 7x and 9. So 7x plus 9, 7x minus 9. Sum of cubes. 5x and 2. So it goes 5x plus 2. And then on the trinomial, the middle one is negative. That was a huge sign. So square the first guy, 25x squared. Multiply them together for 10x. Square the last guy, 4. Difference of cubes. 3 cubed is 27, so 3x. 4 cubed is 64. So this one would be 3x minus 4. And then in the trinomial, all positive. Square the first guy, 9x squared. Multiply them together, 12x. Square the last guy, 16. Another difference of cubes right below that one. 2x and 1. 2x minus 1. All positive in there. Square the first guy, 4x squared. Multiply them together, 2x. Square the last guy, 1. I'll go back over here. Quadratic form, but it's the 4th power and 2nd power. And so yeah, we have to go 9. So now I won't guess and check like I did up here. I'll do that whole process. So let's get to it. We're going to need a calculator. These are big numbers. So 9 times 64 is 576. Things that multiply to 576. 2 times 288. 3 times 192. I'm just dividing 576 by all the numbers. 4 times 144, blah, 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 blah. You make your whole list, and I finally got to 16 times 36, which gives us a difference of 20. So, 9x to the, nope, I leave the 9 off, silly me. X to the 4th minus 20x squared plus 576. And then, so my two numbers are 16 and 36. X squared, and they're both negative. Multiply, negative times negative is positive, and they add to negative. Wait, is that right? Something's wrong. They would both have to be negative. I think I did this one all wrong. Oh my gosh. I did this with 36 this doesn't work because they both have to be negative. So I think on my solutions that I already posted for you guys, it's just wrong. Oh man, I hate when that happens. Because they would both have to be negative. 12 and 48. We had 9 and 64. Oh. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this problem to negative right there. So I will have to tell everybody that. Somehow I'll make an announcement in Canvas or something. Oh, what a pain in the butt. So that's negative. So then I can make it (16 minus 36) is negative 20. So we would have 16 and x squared plus 36. Okay, so it all works if that guy's negative. But the 9 that we divided, remember you got to put it back in as a fraction there. And then you reduce the fractions if you can. 16 and 9 don't have any common factors. So that one is 9x squared minus 16. And I really messed up on that problem. I'm looking at the solutions again. And that's x squared, 36 over 9 is 4. And this would be, this one would be difference of squares. 3x plus 4, 3x minus 4 times x squared plus 4, which is a plus, so that's not difference of squares. I think I'm just tired. I should need to stop making videos right now. I'll just finish this one and I'll stop it there. And then I'll do the rest tomorrow. Difference of squares. We're squaring 5x and we're squaring 12. So 5x plus 12 times 5x minus 12. And this guy, so I sort of did this one with that method. So I'll do this one with my just unfoiling. So it's just like a guess and check. But when your numbers, you always look at the first term and the last term. There's only one choice for each of those. The only things that multiplies to 2x squared would be 2x and x. The only thing that multiplies to 3 is 3 and 1. So we just have to decide, is it 3 and 1 or is it 1 and 3? And so you get that by just testing it. So I'll try 3 and 1. And we know one of them has to be negative. 2x, 3x. Those are not going to have a difference of negative 5 because one of them will be negative. So I'm going to try 3 and 1. 6x and 1x. That has a difference of 5, but it's got to be negative 5. So that means the 1 would be positive and the 6 is negative. So that guy is negative. This guy positive. And that was foiling to check it because we unfoiled. 2x times x is 2x squared. Outside is minus 6x. Inside is 1x, giving us the negative 5x. And erase, erase, erase. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. So that's why I like doing that when my numbers don't have a lot of choices. When you have a lot of choices like this one that I messed up, then, you know. Okay, this next problem is just strictly just a memorization type of a thing. I can't remember if it's actually on the final or not, but it might be. So see how it looks like the difference of squares? If it was the difference of squares, it would say that. 16x squared is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square. So we'd have 4x plus 5, 4x minus 5. But the thing is, when it's a plus, and this is a big long thing that I'd rather show you guys in class, not on this video, but what it means is that you do the same thing, but you just put i's with the second number. 4x plus 5i, 4x minus 5i. If you FOIL this out, you will get this. And so it's just kind of a little memorize this kind of a thing. Oh yeah, and I was going to stop it there. So stopping it now, and I need to get some rest. And I'll finish tomorrow.